Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome along to episode 3 of our celebration of the icon of agriculture that is the Krone Big X self-propelled forager. As we all know, celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2025. In this episode, we are going to head up and down the country of the UK, catching up with 3 key customers using the Big X. So up first, we are going to head down to the south of England, where we will be catching up with Sussex Agri Power in grass. Then we are going to move on up to Ayrshire in West Scotland, where we're going to catch up with Musson Contracting Limited, and they'll be at the whole crop. And then from there we're going to head back down to Bridgend, South Wales, where we're going to have a really good natter with R&L Anthony Contracting while they are in the maize. So lots coming up for you folks, some absolutely cracking business stories from our 3 contractors, not to mention their thoughts on the Big X self-propelled forager. So, like I say, first up we're going to head down to the south of England, where we're going to catch up with Sussex Agri Power's main man himself, Mr. Neil Clarkson. So, Neil, to start off, maybe just explain your business and what you do in this area of the country.
Well, I've been agricultural contracting in Sussex now for 40 years. I started back in 1985, and the business is based around 2 halves really. One half is the stubble to stubble business, which is now expanded to sort of 7-ish thousand acres of stubble to stubble, which is obviously, as it sounds, stubble to stubble, plough, drill, fertilise, spray and combine. And then the other half of the business is what we're stood here looking at here, which is what I describe as what goes in a cow's mouth and what comes out of a cow's arse. So by that I mean that we supply all products that go into a cow, as in first cut, second cut, third cut, whole crop, silage bales, haylage, straw for the bedding and stuff, and then obviously the maize. And then we obviously deal with all of the products that come out of the cow after it's eaten all of the food that's gone in, which is dealing with the slurry lagoons, umbilical pumping and solid dung and that sort of stuff, which is how I describe the 2 halves of the business really.
I see you're effectively just dropping it and chopping it, you're mowing and grouping it all at once rather than, spreading it out with the mowers or tedder as well and then raking it up. Well, is that purely down to just how dry it is?
It is the weather conditions, and I walked all of these fields 2 days ago, and it's almost dry and crunchy when you're walking through it, and if it's on the deck for more than sort of 4 to 6 hours, then even though it's being mowed and grouped straight away, then the dry matter is just getting up above 40%, and it's you can't clamp grass at that moisture. So yeah, we are literally dropping and going like 4 to 6 hours in between the mower and the chopper max.
So on to some forager chat. What are you running at the moment? What model of Krone is it?
The Krone that we're running at this present point is the Krone Big X 1180. Which is not, I don't think it's quite 1180 horsepower, but I think it's quite close to it. You utilise it sometimes on grass, not often. We have got a 15.7 metre Krone rake we put in front of it, and we can utilise it a bit, but the power is there for the maize, to cut the maize, and especially for maize for the bioplants, where you're cutting the maize at 4 mil. And if you're cutting 20 tonne plus crops of maize at 4 mil, then that forage harvester is on its knees.
It knows about it.
It knows if it's a heavy crop. You go off from the bioplants and you go to a dairy, and then the dairy says, I want to chop at 10 mil, and it's like taking a handbrake off.
Yeah.
You
just let it go.
Yeah, it just off it goes.
So winding the clock back then a little bit, just go through some of your forager history. I know you've been doing your research and just reminding yourself what you've got.
Made a few notes.
Yeah, go on. Where did it all start with the Krone story?
Well, the Krone story started in 2009, where we went from running 2 smaller Class Jags. At the time, Class didn't make a twin engine or large harvester, so we went to the Big X V12 in 2009, which, you know, when it was running, it was certainly could eat grass and stuff, but it had a few small sort of technical issues, but not too many really. Then the next season, Krone let me have a sort of pre-production twin engine 800 horsepower machine, which is about 500 horsepower at the front, 300 horsepower at the back, which again, when it was running, it was a pretty tidy machine, but it had a few small issues with the 2 engines were linked by a solid gearbox. Right. Which was a bit of a small issue at the time. Then we went back to a Big X 1100, which was all pre-AdBlue and all those sort of things, and that was certainly a very serious weapon. And we ran that in combination on the grass with their 6-rotor 19-metre rake, and those 2 things paired together, if you really wanted to have a go in a day, you could really clear some serious acres. That was a
formidable combination.
Yes, yeah, it was an awesome combination. Yeah.
Right.
And then workload sort of eased off a little bit in the sort of 2016 period. So we downgraded the 1100 to a Krone 770, which was, you know, more than adequate for all of the grass. We were doing less maize anyway, so it was adequate to the job, but it's always very difficult to go backwards when you've had a big toy to go back to a smaller one. And you know, I like the forage harvester to not be the limiting factor. So then we then moved back up to an 1180, one of the first 1180s in the country. I think it was only, at the time, it was free this first season we had it.
So what, that'll be 2019-ish, around there?
Yeah, that was 2019. We moved on to the first 1180, which was certainly in sort of engineering was definitely a step up. And then in, I think it's 2021, we had a lot of maize to cut that year, so we ran 2 1180s. Krone very helpfully put down a second machine on a sort of loan, buy it if you need it basis, hire if you need it basis, very helpful. So we ran 2 1180s for that autumn on the maize, and at the end of the maize season we upgraded to the newer one of the pair.
Right.
You know, and obviously Krone made the job all work really.
Right, and that would have been 2021.
2021, the maize season.
And that's the forager that you've still got right now, just before this next one arrives and takes its place.
Yeah, we had a new machine on order for this season for 2025. It didn't quite make it for the start of grass, which is not really a major problem because I only really needed it for the maize, and it will be here shortly, probably here in August. And we might just go straight into the maize of it, really. Yeah,
put it to work hard.
Yeah.
And would you say, I mean, by the sounds of it, would you say Krone is quite a flexible sort of company to work with? They will work with you?
Well, I've been with them a very, very long time, and they're big enough to be on top of the job, but they are small enough to care. And you know, if you actually phone them up and send them a picture of something that is very seriously unrepairable, like a last season we did on a Saturday afternoon. This was a sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, and went straight to Rob Former at Krone UK. He arranged transport, put a new machine on a lorry that evening, phoned his lorry driver up that was at a wedding that evening, got him in the next morning at 5 a.m. to drive down from Leeds to us, and he got down to us about midday. Compass Tractors sent an engineer across to be at our yard at midday as well to meet the new machine and just swap any bits and pieces off from ours. So, you know, you break down on a Saturday afternoon and the machine is unrepairable, then, you know, they will move heaven and earth to get you going. And, you know, numerous occasions, if there's been work needs doing to the harvesters, you know, and the machine's still running, but it could really do with a bit of love and care. You know, Compass tractors are quite happy to send the head engineer down, Paul, and Paul will arrive on site at 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night. He's quite happy to work away through the night, and he'll do the work, and then he'll be left in the morning and the machine will be back ready to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't really ask for a better service than that. And another part of the Krone service that is absolutely second to none is the overnight service. So the overnight service for parts, as long as you phone them by 4 o'clock, and sometimes you can even push it to 5 o'clock, that part will be in our yard between 6:30 a.m. the next morning and 7 a.m. And that doesn't matter if that part is coming from Leeds or it's coming from Germany. The plane lands, the vans pick up the parts, and we may be lucky enough to be at the start of his drop-off trip, I don't know. But anyway, those parts will be with us the next morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
No service, no machinery supplier in the UK for agriculture can touch that overnight service. You know, we've got Krone triple mowers, 2 of those. We've got Krone spreading rakes. We've got one of the new Krone 1570 rowing up rakes. Obviously, we've got the Krone harvesters. We've got 3 Krone balers, 2 1x20 by 90s, 1 90 by 90. You know, so we do have a substantial amount of Krone kit.
Yeah.
And we are extremely pleased with it.
Good stuff. And in terms of the foragers, just what would you say are the biggest standout features of the Big X? What is it that keeps you coming back to those foragers time and again?
Well, it's basically the robustness of the front end, really. You know, the grass headers, the maize headers, but also the cylinder. You know, the big heavy-duty wide cylinder, the blade holders, the shear bars. You know, the whole thing. It can take a knock and still keep going.
Yeah.
You know, if you just happen, unfortunately, to put a lump of oak through it or something, you know, and it might knock a blade or 2 back, but it won't rip the blade holders off and that sort of stuff.
No. And throughout the years, it sounds like, you know, you've dealt with Krone a lot. Have you fed back a lot to those guys and to the Krone engineers? Have you been involved with development of future machines?
Yeah, I went going right back to the twin engine, 800 horsepower machine and things. Yes, we used to go over to the factory and all that sort of thing, and they are constantly listening. And as I say, that comes back to the thing of being sort of big enough to be efficient but small enough to listen.
Yeah.
You know, and within reason, they are only concentrating on green crop machinery, not golden crop as well, which I think, you know, makes them more focused on.
I was going to say, do you think, you know, with them being a specialist, do you think that makes a difference rather than these big full liners, as they like to call themselves? Yeah,
I think it does. And you know, a few years back they had a reputation for really only selling large harvesters. But now, you know, they're also developing the narrow body machines for the smaller customer to sort of challenge the class in that area as well.
Right, good stuff. In the background here, this has really caught my eye this morning. This setup, this set of triple mowers. Just talk us through this rig that's working.
That's a rig that came last year. That's got the 4-metre folding mower on the front and the 10.5 metre mower on the back with augers. And you know, it does take a bit of power, obviously, it's a big unit, but you know, it can mow quite comfortably 20 acres an hour in the right conditions. And the main advantage of owning the 4-metre front mower is that if you're on any siding or hill or slope, you don't miss anything. But if you're mowing in land work, and generally you can have the rear mowers set out to 10.5 metres all of the time. And because obviously the front mower doesn't miss any. And then the moving on to the auger on the back or from the belt. We used to run a Big M self-propelled mower for a fair few years, but then the arable business grew, so we had work for the big tractors in the autumn. So that's why we moved from the Big M. But the Big M had the augers, this has got the augers, and we do still have one triple mower with the belts. This is so much superior.
Is it?
So much
the
superior.
augers better than belts?
Yeah, far better. You can make, when you need to throw it into a narrower row, you can do that easily, and that could be for rowing for balers and that sort of thing, where the balers need a narrower row.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how thick the grass is. If you want to auger it, you can auger it.
And this is fully conditioned front and rears on this?
Yeah, fully conditioned front and rear, yeah.
And that front mower, that 4 metre, that's that clever folding mower. It does it comes round the back of itself.
All folds in and out from the cab, press a button, job done, and off you go. Yeah.
Cracking stuff.
And it is an amazing bit of kit, really.
Yeah. Spot on. Well, Neil, thank you very much for your time.
No
it's
problem
been
at all.
Absolutely cracking. Great insight into your business and into your experience with the Big X self-propelled foragers. Like I say, you're a busy man. I'll let you go now, and hopefully I'm going to catch up with your Big X operator now, which is it's Ian, is it?
Big Ian, yeah.
So we can have some fun there.
Yeah, trying to understand him.
See what he thinks of it.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Spot on. Right folks, as promised, we're now joined by Ian Crawford, who's been with Sussex Agri Power a good few years now. I think you're saying 17 years, is it now?
Yeah, approximately 17, considering I only came for 3 weeks to start off with, so I'm still here.
And this 1180 that we're on now, this is, I think Neil was saying you've had this since 2021, which you'll have drove all the time. How have you got on with it overall?
Yeah, very well, to be fair. A few minor problems, but you're going to get that with any machine. But on the grand scale of things, like, it's pretty indestructible, to be fair.
Yeah. And this grass that we're chopping today, is this going for, well, what's it going for today, this?
Beef animals,
right.
beef farmer.
Yeah.
First cut on this farm goes towards the dairy herd, and the second cut goes towards the beef animals.
Right.
Generally.
What sort of length are you chopping at today?
For 12 mil here at the minute, and if it dries out any more, we'll probably drop down to about 10. Try and get a bit shorter.
I say try and get it packed into that into the clamp a bit better.
Yeah, well, there's a few clover fields which we will leave to the end and swath that, so try and keep a bit of green on the top to consolidate it a little bit better.
Yeah. But what chopping cylinder would you have in this today?
At the minute there's a 20 blade cylinder in it. We run 2 different cylinders, a 40 and a 20. 40 is always like in maize, but we run a half set of grass blades in it.
Right.
For grass. We just swapped it out there, I think, 2 days ago. The blade's pretty tired in it.
Right.
We find it's quicker to swap the cylinder over, because you can do that like in an hour probably.
Right.
Depends how up again it you were. Like if you're really stuck for time, you're probably doing less than an hour.
Yeah.
But like it's a lot quicker than putting in a set of blades, and then
that's it, yeah.
a down day or a wet day, you can just shove a set of blades in it.
Yeah, sort them out then.
Yeah, it's quite good too. Whenever you come to whole crop for maize time, like you can swap the whole machine from maize to grass in probably 2 hours.
Including the cracker as well?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you drop the cracker out probably in 5 minutes.
Alright.
As long as you've got a bit of concrete or a few strong men there to pull it. It's not as easy on the stones, but yeah, it can be done. Like.
Yeah. And throughout your time driving these Big X's, what other sort of changes have you seen, or what changes have impressed you? What improvements have Krone made?
Well, from the old like 1100 range to this, like there's a lot of improvements. Like there's a lot less settings there. Your old very stream system, you just sort of whack it in there and get an Allen key and set your distances in. It's all pretty simple and just user-friendly service and all that sort of stuff.
Would you say cab-wise you've come a long way as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of, I like the cab in these, like there's a lot of leg room in it. Let's face it, like between me and you, like we're not going to be leaf guards, so there's still plenty of room in here, like, aren't we?
We're alright, yeah, we can still swing a small cat.
Yeah, like, you can stretch out fairly well in it.
Yeah.
A good feature I like in this is the old very stream system and the adjustable accelerator paddle in the back of it.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever it's this dry, just whack it into the medium setting and it'll put it in the thriller. Right?
Yeah. Just tighten it up a bit basically.
Yeah, it moves the flap in where the grass or the crop or whatever you're cutting hits the accelerator and speeds it up.
Yeah.
It's like, if you actually watch then that coming out, like it's coming out at a fair old rate, and that's only sitting at 20%.
All right, so that's hardly closed up at all.
Yeah, like, you know, say normal there, it'll wax up in the spout if it's that dry.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, you're blocked up. And well, nobody wants to be underneath and digging it out on a hot day, do they?
Nope, not at all. Is that much of an issue, that, you know, with dry crops? Do you have to...
Yeah, well, we have a tank on the back, which we can use for two different things. We can use it to fill the side tank for putting on additive, or we can use it as just use it as a reservoir, or you can put high volume additive on with it.
Yeah.
Or you can put it straight into the cylinder to do headland cleaning. So whenever you're cleaning the headland, you can put a blast of water through it to sort of wet it up a bit.
Right. What's this like in maize then?
Yeah, pure animal.
Just that's where it really comes into it.
Yeah. You start it in the morning and you drive it till 100% engine load all day, every day.
Yeah.
And that's just like from morning to night, it's just completely in the red.
Yeah.
And it just keeps taking it. Loves it. Big difference, like if you're chopping for an AD plant or for cows, because obviously an AD plant went everything about 5 mil, like, and that slows everything down, and that does suck horsepower like in diesel. Like a good day, like you're plenty winding the diesel through it, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Full chat, like you could be getting up to 250 or 60 litres of fuel, but that's like pushing 400 ton an hour up the spout.
Yeah, that's its happy place.
That's like, yeah, it seems to work better like if it's in the red all day long. Like,
yeah.
The engine load, it goes to 110 and that's where you put it.
Just sit there.
Yeah. Any, like, if you have like a little break in the crop or a low bit in it, all it wants to do is just take off, and then the tractor and tiller can't take off as quick as it can.
Forage is gone.
Yeah, all it wants to do like, is just keep going all the time.
Yeah. And presumably it'll be a Krone maize header that you've got on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. What width will that one be? Or how many rows will that be?
12 row header, so it is.
Yeah.
Brilliant header. Unbelievably good header. And it just cuts everything. Like.
Oh, they're the ones with the discs under it.
Yeah, that's the one we have. It just seems to cut.
Yeah.
In fact, it went that well one night to cut a gas pipe off the ground. We drilled the field, and then they decided then to put test holes in it, never marked it.
Alright,
so
not good of it.
One of them little metal blue pipes and sort of ratcheted that off. 10 minutes later you're going again, like just change the one blade on it and crack on. Like this thing here definitely has a heart of gold, this thing. It just, because it gets nothing, only dog's abuse from morning to night. Every day it's out of the yard. Yeah. And it just keeps taking it and going. It just never fails.
But that odd time that it might do, or
that odd time, yeah.
Then that's where you get your backup coming to.
But with running them, like, you sort of know, and to be fair, like the compass tractors, they will tell you, well, this is some of the common problems that you might have, and they'll like waive all parts like what you need. Like any generally problems that you normally have with these machines, and it's recorded and listed, well, they will modify it or do something to help you. Like, you know, it's always taken on board.
Well, Ian, thank you very much for your time.
Not a problem.
It's been absolutely spot on that, listening to you and your experience, and Neil's as well, with all his history of these Big X's. So yeah, once again, thank you very much. And there you go, that is Big X operator and owner number 1. We shall now move on to the next one. Right folks, we now move on to our second Big X customer, which is Musson Contracting Limited, based right here in Ayrshire in Scotland, and I'm joined by the main man himself, Mr. Ed Musson. So Ed, before we dive into these forages and what you think of them, just tell us a little bit about your business background.
Well, we moved up into Ayrshire in 2004, originally from down in Gloucestershire way. So moved up just to change of farms, farmed away, and then started building up the contracting business from there. Just really ploughing a hedge cutter and worked away, built up to what we are today now.
Right, and what sort of services do you provide now?
So the main bulk of the turnover really would be come from forage harvesting. We run 2 Krones, a Big X 1180 and a Big X 680.
Right.
But we do everything really in between: slurry, ploughing, sowing, spread a lot of fertilizer, baling, hedge cutting. We do a lot of hedge cutting in the winter, gritting work in the winter. We do cover a bit of everything. The only thing we don't really do is spraying and combining.
Right, so you sort of stay away from the arable side of things.
Yeah, the only thing really supposed to be arable is chopping whole crop.
Yeah.
We're at the day, and I'll sow quite a lot of grain.
Yeah.
For just dairy farmers round about, nothing, major 50, 60 acre maximum per farm sort of thing. This will probably be the biggest single contract that we do with the rye, the AD work. We're not actually contracted through the AD plan. We're contracted through the farmers, pay me, but all the stuff goes to one plan.
So just describe what we're at today, what we're up to today.
Well, so as I said, we're at the whole crop work for the AD plan, the digester. So we are currently chopping winter hybrid rye, which is we've about 800 acres to do. On I think there's 5 different farms that grow it. So it's all getting down to Grissan at Girvan, which is a part of Grant's whiskey.
And do you have both choppers at this job?
No,
you just use this one?
We just use this. So this is an 1180 with a 40 knife drumming, which is geared up for the rye needs. They're quite fussy on chop quality and chop length. Yeah. So they want it down to 6 mil.
Do you find that the Krone actually provides you with that?
It has. It has up to now. I'm still. It's like anything. You like to try different products and whatnot, but I would always, willing to try. Other people want to come and bring the choppers and see how good they can do against the Krone. Yeah, brilliant. Makes the dealer sharpen the pencil a little bit, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, makes them all sit up, doesn't it?
It does. So.
Keeps them keen.
But unfortunately, at the moment, for everybody else, Krone have the edge on chop quality.
Right.
So that's really
quite literally.
Yeah. So that's really the reason. The main reason is why we're sticking with Krone. But we're very happy with the product.
Yeah.
It's not a silly product. So.
And what do you think it is about the Krone that offers you that good chop quality for this particular job?
I suppose really the biggest difference compared to other competitive machines is the feed rollers. They run with 6 feed rollers. Whether it's just getting that beautiful mat presented to the knives, the way maybe it's brought in, the header, you can see, I don't know if your cameras can pick it up, the quality of the cut that the header produces is...
It's a clean cut.
We've tried different whole crop headers, like I say, on different manufacturers, and none of them will leave them as good a finish as that. Right. In the same field, I've been in the same field, with different machines, and the quality of the cut, and these knives have done a couple 100 acres already, so I'm not putting new knives in for today's video. So no, it is, I think, just a combination of the way it's fed into the knives. Yeah. Because once it gets to the knives, a chopping cylinder is pretty much the same in every chopper, like apart from the John Deere's obviously got more knives, but it's got to be the way it's presented.
Yeah, the presentation, isn't it? How it gets there. Yeah. And do you find that this header is a good match for the 1180?
It is. I mean, the 680 knows it's on it, but the 1180's, more than enough for it. It's no problem at all. Obviously, it can take the bigger header that they've made. So I think this is a good match for speed. You don't really want to be racing at it. It's a nice steady flow.
Yeah. I suppose it's quite a handy size for a lot of the varying fields.
It is, yeah. I mean, yeah, when we're at this job, all the fields are really nice, they're really big, but then when we get into doing whole crops, 20 acres of whole crop for the dairy guys or whatever, like you don't really want anything too big to get in the gates as well.
Yeah.
But I made a new trailer with a steering axle on it, so that's going to help this year. I'm hoping to get in and out of tight gateways. So yeah. Should be good that way.
Good stuff. You say you got this 1180 and you got the 680.
Yep.
What's your forager history? What have you had before?
Yeah, no, I'm purely Krone. So as like I said, we started in 2004, but it was 2014, the August of 2014 when we started Musson, the contracting limited company.
Yeah.
And then that was the year we took over a guy that was retiring from silage. So we started chopping the season of 2015. But at that year, I think the year previous to that, McNays had taken on the Krone dealership, and obviously they were quite keen to get foragers out. So I subsequently done a deal to hire a 700 Krone that first year with them. I think it was a second-hand machine that Krone had in stock somewhere, and that's got us off. And I've not had any other brand since. So yeah, I've tried other brands. I've liked other brands.
Have you tried some others?
You'll notice my shade of tractor that's going about here today.
Yeah,
I've tried that brand in grass and in whole crop. Just seem to stuck with Krone. They've been very good to me. They looked after me the first 2 years and with that chopper, as I say, and then when this AD work came up a couple of years after that, we found that the Krone was the job. The forager for the job, so yeah, we've kind of stuck with them since.
Right.
And very happy.
Yeah.
The build quality, I know why we're in about them. We've got a full stock of spares now, for it. I do the bulk of the repairs and maintenance myself. Obviously, when it starts getting technical with computers and fault codes and stuff like that, they'll come out. But any basic maintenance and repairs that we can do, yeah, I'll do it myself. They do cope with stones. I've had stony bits and stones go through it and you're like, oh Christ, but it may knock a knife back, or a couple of knives back, but it takes a big stone to knock a blade. Yeah.
And when did the 680 come along then?
So the 680, so we were at 700 and then we had the 1100, and then we were getting a little bit busier, especially with the rye, and then there's grass on at the same time. So I decided this 680 came up 2 years ago. So we decided to buy that and use that as the main forager.
Right.
And we just kept the 1100 for rye, and maybe as a backup. And then we bought this 1180 last year because I knew it was rye spec. It came off of another contractor that it was a 40 knife drum inside it. So I just run with half knives for grass, and then I put 40 knives in when we go to the rye.
Right.
So that's, so we get busy with grass, so we're now actually running both choppers in grass as well.
Yeah.
And then the 680 just stays at grass.
And how's this particular 1180, how's this gone so far?
It's gone so far, yeah, it's gone well. There's been a few niggly issues, but it's a second-hand machine. I can't say too much. Just silly wee things, but nothing major.
Yeah.
But to be fair, McNays and Krone stood by. I've warranted it so far, which a 3 or 5 year old machine. You can't argue too much with them.
Exactly.
No, you get a very good service from both my local dealer and from the Krone Scotland network.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we're really happy.
Yeah. So that's McNays is your dealer, and
yeah. McNay, John H. McNay Limited are the guys that I buy all the Krone stuff through.
Right.
Good guys. They've got a good service technician, Stephen. Knows his stuff. Very well trained, and they promote the brand well. They're good. They've not got hundreds and hundreds of foragers out, so generally you can get them if there's an issue.
Yeah.
Which there's very rarely many issues, so
yeah,
we're happy.
And what would you say are its standout features?
This particular one, just the level of power it's got in it. In grass and well, this job, nothing seems to phase it. Just the engines in them seem to be
that big V12
phenomenal.
in the back.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Very good spacious cab. It's comfy. It's a nice job. The joystick, I've tried a few different forages. The joystick does sit nice to hand. Everything, you're not stretching for anything.
Yeah.
You know, all the buttons are really there that you need, so, and it sits just nice. The old chopper, the joystick seems to be, it was a bit more vertical.
Yeah.
But this one, and you can alter all the joystick, you know, the controls out and in, up and down, you know.
Yeah.
If I've got my long gangly arms, well, you can take a bit further away. It's very ergonomical and nice to drive.
And the other party piece for this forager, it's got that rear wishbone suspension.
Oh,
so
yes.
What does that bring to the party?
You don't feel the bumps,
Yeah.
basically. It's great for changing wheels. I found that out the other day. Changed the wheels on the back, swapped it with the other machine, and basically you jack it up, put an axle stand in, jack it back down, and it lifts the wheels up. So that's a good party piece.
Yeah.
Saves a lot of jacking about. No, it just sits smooth. It's good for putting the mill in and out. You just jack it right up, lets the mill roll in underneath.
Yeah.
That's a lot easier nowadays than the old machines. And the turning circle.
Well,
at
I
the
was
end,
just about to say, as we approach this headland here,
the turning circle, you turn on a sixpence. I mean, this is a huge machine, and it will turn on a sixpence. I mean, I've done 4 times round about to give myself a bit, to give the trailers more room. Probably if I did 3, I would still get this turn full lock. It's no problem at all. I don't know what, I think it's about, I did measure it because when you set up the sole steer system, you do a circle and it's about 4.5 metres it will turn in. It really is.
Well, I see you've literally just turned in the width of 3 of these headers.
Yeah, oh, no problem.
Yeah.
You could probably turn in 2 if you really needed to, but it's just to give the trailer a bit of room.
Overall then, just sum up your time with the Big X self-propelled foragers.
Oh, if any of the Krone guys are listening, fantastic. No, we've gone really well. They've been reliable, on the home with Krone. Very good company, very good backup. Parts the next day. I've had it. We had a problem with a Krone forager. We broke a shaft that McNays didn't have. It was quite an obsolete shaft. It was a drive shaft coming from a gearbox to the front of the machine. Sheared it 1.5 inch piece of steel in 2. Krone, it was after about 4:30. Krone put it in a taxi, and there was 2 guys for Leeds in my close at 2 o'clock in the morning with a shaft. We were going again by, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock the next morning. Yeah. Can't fault that as a company.
No, definitely.
If they're willing to do that, hey, don't get me wrong, they'll charge you a little bit for it, but I didn't lose a day. I lost, I don't know, 6 hours of chopping, if that. So, as a company, very, very good. Yeah, very good.
And you think it'll be Krone for the foreseeable future?
For the foreseeable, like I said before, Krone are doing the job in the Rye. If I get another manufacturer who've tried and failed, so until I get anything else that's as good as what we can do here, it'll take me a lot to change. Yeah. It would take me a lot to change. We're a setup with Krone. I know my way around them. They're nice. They're like they're nice. You know, they're not nice machines. So it's not like I'm stuck in a machine that can only do a job that's not nice to sit in.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yep. Good backup. Good company.
Well, Ed, thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been absolutely spot on. Just getting your thoughts on your Big X experience and history with these foragers. It's been, like I say, it's been really good. It's been good to see it in Rye as well today.
It's good to see it in action, and you brought the sun with you as well, which is a nice change. I've not been blessed with that in the last couple of weeks.
Hopefully the sun stays with you for a bit longer and get this job done.
Could do with summer. Summer staying for a wee while would be nice.
That's it. Yeah, well, like I say, once again, thank you very much for your time. What we're going to do now, boys and girls, we're going to now move to Wales, fingers crossed, and we're going to speak to our 3rd and final Big X customer in this episode. now move on to our third and final Big X customer, and this brings us down to Bridgend in South Wales, where I'm with Di Anthony of R&L Anthony Contracting. Di, can you give us a bit of a run through on the business in terms of where you are? It's been a long time since I've been down here, and you were busy chopping maize and whole crop and grass back then, but I gather the business has moved on an awful lot in that time.
Yeah, so yes, since then basically we've sort of expanded the business quite a lot. We've gone to we've split the business then, so I now run the contracting side of it, and my parents run the farm. So both have expanded quite a lot. We basically, reason for the split is we've got our own staff, our own cost base then, and we basically, it's allowed us to upscale our machinery, so I can justify I got to justify the equipment not only on the farm here but on our work as well then.
And that's general contract work for other customers as well as what you do for mum and dad's business.
But on the other hand, my biggest customer is the home farm, so we do all their foraging, do a lot of digestive spreading, running 2 big tankers, they 2 Krone Big Packs, so all of that equipment, the bulk of its work would be on the farm at home. Allows them to basically keep expanding, but also for me to sort of have a solid base of work then as well. I like to say I'm fortunate having that guarantee work as well, because obviously having a guarantee is a big, very important thing. Obviously with financing all this equipment, you can see
it's a hell of a commitment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So this harvester is 25.
Oh, new for this season, was it?
Yeah. So we had originally we had a 700, Krone 700.
I think it was a 700 when I came down a few years back.
Yeah. And since then we've had a 780. We went to the 780. That was a big jump, I thought. The 700 was an awesome bit of kit. The chop was great with it and the output, but there's a lot more finesse with a 780. As in, even the cab, using the machine was a lot nicer, quieter cab.
Just a nicer place to sit.
Yeah,
easier
it was
to control.
basically. Yeah. Whereas now we've gone to the 980. It's the same cab as what we were running in the.
So you jumped 780 to 980.
Yeah, just basically workload. Take the farm's expanded, so we're chopping more maize, more grass. And a bit of whole crop, but we're always under pressure, especially with the maize this time of year, trying to get crops in after the maize as well. The big thing is basically trying to keep wheels turning here at home, so they're obviously planting a lot of wheat after maize as well, so I've got to try and keep them happy while obviously servicing other customers as well then. So maize is the big one where I wanted the extra power, extra output. Especially at home, we've got big clamps, big blocks like this, so you can
get stuck in good and proper then.
Basically, yeah. You can see us chopping away. Well, the drill is just across the block there now, so he's
hard
not
on your heels, chasing the wheat
no
behind the maize.
Yeah.
You weren't so more power, more work, more crop. You weren't tempted to go for the 1180 then?
I don't see we needed to go. The 980 was a massive jump. We demoed the 980, and I think going from the V8 to the V12 was a big jump. Another big thing was the header. I knew I'd need more power because I've gone for the X-Collect header, which does take more driving. The problem is you bottleneck somewhere as well, don't you? So the extra power is for here where we've got the big clamp, so we can always put an extra machine on the pit or anything if we need to. But when you go to a lot of farms,
you haven't got that capability. You've still got to accommodate traditional farmsteads and smaller clamps.
Exactly, smaller clamps.
You're lucky at Sussex and Sealands because you've built the clamps to suit the business.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the idea, is that obviously the other thing was we did look into the efficiency of the machine. So when we demoed the 980 on grass and maize, and basically we were drinking a lot more fuel per hour, but actually we were the same, if not less, per tonne.
Per tonne harvested?
Yes.
Right.
So obviously with the Krone, we've got the system to be able to tell how many tonnes an hour. So we've got an idea of what we're chopping and what fuel we're using, so I can keep an idea of my costs as well then, just to see where we're running with everything. It also helps the rest of the business, because I can obviously tell them roughly, tonnages. So obviously, because we're selling all of the product, we need to have a rough idea of what's in the clamps.
How far do you sell the maize? How far does it go?
So some of the bale maize is going as far as Ayrshire and down to St David, so literally as far west as you can go in Wales. Some goes east, but the majority goes west of us then. But I think a lot of farms as well, they concentrate on, they can grow grass, they can, they concentrate on the cows, and they found probably that if they can buy quality, as long as it's quality, then it's worth buying it in then.
They can supplement their own grass with bought-in maize from you guys.
Exactly. It's all about milk yield, isn't it? And at the end of the day, they can buy it in, feed it to the cows, and cost. Actually, when you work it out with their cash flow, it's good, because they get the milk check and pay us then at the same time, rather than growing a crop and tying all that money out. So we've got a lot of the risk really in that sense. We start harvesting in normally mid-April with Rye Westwalls.
Okay.
And then
you take an early cut and then put another crop in.
And then that goes into maize. And that's a challenge in itself. We're quite lucky because we're a bit milder on the coast. We do get harvesting early, but you've got a quick turnaround then to get the maize in.
You're not hammered by frosts too much down here, right?
No, not too much. Like I say, we are on the coast, so we are quite lucky in that sense, really. And then obviously we're harvesting right through then, where there's grass, whole crop, and then into maize. Last year we're well into November, so there's not much.
Bloody hell, Di. There's not much time the chopper's stopped in all that.
No. I think one of the biggest things from changing the harvester was actually the header. Go into the X Collect.
What did you have on before?
So we had an Easy Collect, so that was a stationary knife. What you'd find is with the stalks, it'd almost seal them up. So it'd cut the stalks in a set way. Whereas with the disc, it is actually, it's more running cost, and that's one thing obviously you've got to bear in mind is running costs, and the discs, things like stones. I've had it a few times where you clip a stone and you've got to sort of maybe touch up a disc and things like that with a grinder. If you look at the stalks here, you can see that actually it's obliterating the top of the stalk and it's smashing it open. So if you put your foot on it, that stalk, it'll just split open.
Right.
And that's a major benefit. Obviously, we're growing a lot of wheat and crops after the maize. So things like fusarium in wheat is, you've got a disease carryover in those stalks. So we want to try and open them up, break them down as much as possible before the crop's planted. There's things like which we've never suffered with, but it's becoming more of an issue in the UK now, is corn borer and things like that as well. So we want to try and open these stalks up and break them down, otherwise we are going to have more issues. I know they do in Europe.
I guess as more and more maize is grown, there's going to be that susceptibility.
That's the thing, yeah. And the other thing is obviously with costs is trying to keep the disease out of the wheat. If we can keep the disease out of the wheat, they might save on a fungicide and things like that. So, do you know what I mean? It all works.
So there's added benefits there if you get it right.
Exactly.
What are you chasing for chop length on this, given that it could be rebaled or loaded into lorries, and it's not tight like an AD requirement, is it?
No, I still like to chop it fairly short. Consistency that is the most important thing. I don't like to have that leaf in it, so I'd like to chop it fairly short. It compacts. We want it to compact well in the pit. That's the important thing, because obviously it's getting compacted in the pit and then it's getting cut out of the pit and loaded onto lorries. So we want to be able to compact it in the pit, keep any air out of it, and also then obviously we want to get the weight on the lorries.
Yeah.
The logistics,
Make the haulage efficient.
Haulage efficient, and also when it gets tipped out on someone's yard as well, they want to be able to keep the air out of it that end.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go off too quickly. So they obviously get the benefit of it not warming, because that's the issue. Is obviously if they have an Arctic, you know, they might be using that over a week. So they want to try and not waste anything basically, and that's the whole point. Is that's where obviously some people are seeing the benefit of buying it in as well. Is as long as they're not getting any waste, they're happy. The other thing is obviously we've gone down a bit of a different route as well with the forage, and we're actually baling maize now. That's more designed for the smaller guys who can't have 28 ton tipped on their yard.
Okay.
So for example, if someone has a load of bales, I've got some guys who'll have a load a month, for example, and they'll feed they're ton bales, and they'll feed one bale a day.
That's round bales, is it?
Round bales,
With
compacted
an
bales.
machine.
Yeah, so that's an all-kill baler, but it compacts it so we get a ton in a bale.
Can you?
So it packs it really, really tight.
And that's is that tied and wrapped, or is it just wrapped straight out the machine?
So that is it's net replacement. So basically it's plastic, a roll of plastic.
Yeah.
Around it, and then puts one lot of wrap around the outside of the bale, throws it out the chamber onto the wrapper, then has a full wrap on the back while another one is being made. Then
cool.
So it's a constant flow then. So we can literally make, say a lorry turns up, you can bale a load pretty much as quick as you can load a lorry then.
Can you really?
So yeah, it works really well then.
Yeah, I've noticed on the old RPMs you can pull the V12 down a fair way.
Oh yeah.
Can't you? It doesn't have hang on.
No, it does hang on.
Better than the V8 from that point of view?
Yeah.
Much more gutsy.
You do drive it differently. I think if I pushed the V8 as hard as this, we would be sort of...
we'd be unblocking
almost
it,
killing it, yeah. Like sometimes I run this in Eco on grass, but she's in X Power now, automatically on maize.
So this is absolutely flat out.
This is full
power.
tilt.
Yeah.
Whereas on grass, if I'm on a first cut, rye and Westwalds, they're big crops, I'll be on X Power. But then as I'm getting into other cuts of Italian ryegrass, then I'll quite often put her into Eco, and then she'll just hum along nicely. You do feel a massive difference.
You do.
I remember when
it's not like 100 horsepower.
You press the button into X Power as you're going along, and
she's
take
away.
Off, yeah.
So there'll be no benefit for you now having any more power. You're comfortably on top of the job with the 980, aren't you?
Yeah, the benefit is with the 980 is that you can actually, if you wanted to go have more power, you can actually buy it. So I could buy up to 200 horsepower.
Okay.
So say we were a real late harvest now, and we did actually go, right, we need to get on. We could actually buy the horsepower, and it's by the hour. So say I went to a farm that couldn't cope, I could just shut it back to 980. But then if we want to go up, we can actually we can dial it in and go to 1180.
So
same machine.
Yeah.
It's the same machine. It's
just an engine map, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, it does flow well. So kind of, what do you put the crop flow down to?
But there's a few things, but they've got they've got a plate under a sprung plate under the drum and a sprung plate behind the blower as well. It allows, when you have that surge through the machine, it does allow it to sort of take it rather than it just being a lump or a.
So there's a bit of extra evening out.
Yeah. The other thing is obviously 6-feed rollers.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah.
So the 6-feed rollers, that helps with the
chop. There's a fair bit of squashing down,
also
isn't it?
A lot of compression on the crop then before it goes into the drum.
Presenting the crop nicely for the drum then?
Yeah. And you want that held tight as well, because obviously you want to chop it well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to lose chopping performance if everything's loose.
Yeah. And that's where you'd see, if you look on the top of the trailer there, it's all chopped nicely, whereas you'd see a lot of leaf and things on it if it wasn't.
So to finish off then, Di, just sum up your time with the Big X's.
Yeah, it's been good. Basically, it's going, obviously it's a Big X, it's a big machine, it's a high output machine, and basically it's allowed us to grow the business how we have. Like I said to you earlier about I want to run one machine efficiently. And if you look at what we're doing, we've sort of, as the machine has got bigger and grown, our output, our business has grown. And it's allowed us to expand basically. And obviously it's like I say, about, we're not just looking at the job we're doing here about chopping this crop here. We're looking at what product we've got at the end of it to sell. And I think that's the big thing with the Krone harvester, is the actual, well, two things really. You look at the field there now, that's a good job. He's coming straight in and planting a crop behind me. But also, if we go to that pit, because whatever happens, at the end of the day, it's what's left in that pit is the important thing, isn't it? And if it's processed properly, chopped well,
then the value of the pit stays high, doesn't it?
Exactly. You've got a good product at the end of it. And that's one thing we're selling the maize, is that you have to have, anyone can grow it or have a go at growing it, but if you're selling it, it has to be a good product. And that's what we're getting out of the Krone machine is the chop. And that's what, brought us to the machine originally. And obviously we've kept with it then.
So there you go, folks. That brings us to the end of episode 3 and the end of the series celebrating the icon of agriculture that is the Krone Big X self-propelled forager. I hope you have enjoyed watching it as much as we have making it, all the way from the history, the evolution, the production, the parts, and now the customer side of things. While I remember as well, I've made a little list of here just thanking all the people that have come on camera and made this series what it is. So in no particular order, massive thank you to Peter Weiss, Daniel Buter, Thomas Weissman, Andre Wilbers, Heine Brunning, Neil Clarkson, Ian Crawford, Ed Musson and Di Anthony. And I've got to do a special thanks to all the people behind the scenes for making this series happen, in particular to Holly, to Emily and to Mustafa for all of their organising. So once again, thank you very much for watching. For more great stuff like this, just go check out our LandPowerTV platforms. And I suppose the question is now, what's the future of the Big X? Well, we shall wait and see.